Hello, everyone, and welcome to TMoney Talks FF14, Episode 1, live on twitch.tv/T_money33 to bring you the latest news and discussion regarding Final Fantasy XIV. You can join me in the game on the Adamantoid server, Lavender Beds, 18th Ward, Plot 18. In fact, while we're at it, let's go ahead and head on over there right now. Also, you can call in live via Discord, link below, !Discord in the chat. Now, it's our first episode of the podcast. We are launching live, and we are going to be doing some interesting discussion. As you know, let's start with the news. First things first, live letter happened. It was a live letter. What can you really say about it? Wasn't bad per se, but it didn't really add anything that we didn't already know was coming. We have, of course, our Blue Mage content. That's new. They're raising it to 70. Who gives a fuck about Blue Mage? Please let me know if you do. I really don't care for it, but I'm glad somebody else does. Please let me know. In addition, it's coming out in early December. I'm honestly surprised. I thought because of Corona it's going to be going, early January, but no, they're shooting for December. So, a little bit of a audio issue there. Gonna have to we're not gonna edit it out. I'm just gonna have to learn and be reminded. Kind of not, should have done a little, dragged the intro a bit, but whatever, it happens. Now, let's move on to probably the big news. Early it's not early January like I predicted, which, hey, glad I'm wrong. But we got 5.4 coming out in December. New dungeon, whoop-de-doo. One new dungeon. Please, can we start getting 2 dungeons again? There are hardcore players out there who do enjoy dungeon content. Myself is one of them. Blue Mage, again, 60 to 70. Honestly, this is my prediction for it, is they're going to just scrap this limited job idea as the bad idea it was and just make it a normal job. That's really what they should do. They really just need to either scrap the limited job idea in its entirety and bring it up to a full job, or just, don't do it anymore. Monk changes. I'm an old monk main myself, so kind of happy to see Monk getting some love that it desperately needs. Wish they would do something with the with ninjas. Mudra's not really working out great, but they do exist still, so yeah, that's a thing. We'll just go with that, and I wish they would do something else with it. Other things to come out of the live letter: gatherers, crafters, they're still there, and they're working on those Ishgard restoration. And hey, whichever crafter class commits most to the restoration, they're gonna get a statue. Ishgard housing, you're gonna have a crafter statue. Holy crap, can you imagine if Culinarian gets it? Hey, we couldn't have built this housing without all that food, huh? So let's see some love for Culinarians there. Other things to come out of the live letter. Oof, boy. 5.3 MSQ required to do the new raid here. Let me repeat that for those who cannot hear in the back, because you do exist. If you haven't done the 5.3 MSQ, get it done so you can raid. And last but not least, before we head on into today's main discussion, we have Tuesday, patch 5.35, Bosjan Southern Front, and that's going to be the new relic content to replace Eureka. You do not have to do it, though, unlike Eureka for the last relic. You can do, light farming or whatever they've got coming out of that. We still don't know the exact details, but we will be seeing it. Now, on to today's main discussion. It is actually something that came out of the live letter. I'm going to quote Yoshida here. Or rather, I'm going to quote our FFXIV's Discord's unofficial translation. Shiva seemed too difficult. Now, there's more to the quote in response to specifically going on about how, I'm not going to tell you, but you're going to be hyped for the next one. Here's the thing. I could give 2 craps less. Let's back up to the real issue here. that Square Enix seems to be having with Shiva Unreal, it's too hard. Now, I'm just gonna back this issue up to that because what in the fuck? How is it hard? It's Shiva EX with at level 80. It is the exact same fight as Shiva Extreme, which I did at level 50. Or did I do it unsynced when I first did it? I can't really remember, but the thing is, I have done it before, and I have done Shiva Unreal twice. Shiva Unreal as a fight is not hard. You can go in there, push your buttons in the semi-correct way, do semi-decent damage, and, not die, and you'll clear it just fine. So, what's hard about it? And the mechanics aren't hard. It's just dodge, 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 dodge. I guess tanks might have a few things to be aware of, but, that's just tanks. Just look up a Shiva EX guide and know what the hell you have to do if you're a tank. It's not hard. It's not hard. So let's... The issue is Square Enix is pandering to the lower end tier of this game in terms of player skill. They love to say how player skill has risen. Other content creators love to say it too. What fucking player skill has risen? We have players who are shit at mechanics and shit at DPS. Usually both. They're usually crappy at mechanics and they can't do damage. And this game, despite what Square Enix loves to say all the time, you don't need to, if you're a healer, you don't need to do damage. You just need to heal. Tanks, don't need to be dealing high damage. And hey, I'm going to say you don't need to be doing high damage either, but you sure as fuck need to be doing something because, goddamn, if Shiva Extreme is too hard. If you are someone who thinks Shiva Extreme, and I'm calling it that, not Unreal. If you are somebody who thinks Shiva Unreal is too hard, please let me know. Reach out to me, Twitter, twitch.tv/T_money33. Show up and call into the show. Let me hear from you. Why is Shiva Unreal too hard? If you think it's too hard, if you think it's hard, challenging content, let me know so we can, because this is boggling me. The mechanics are easy. You dodge left, you dodge right, you dodge this, you dodge that. Okay, it's easy. You do damage, not a lot of damage. It's not a very punishing DPS check. If you do just decent damage, you can even carry like 2-3 deaths. That's pretty much how we killed it. It's like we always had at least one person go down once, or sometimes twice. When my group killed it, we still freaking, yeah, like it's still dead. The DPS check isn't hard, so that means you're either bad at a very simple, very old fight that doesn't have complex mechanics, or you're bad at doing damage. Usually it's, and I'm guessing it's gonna probably be an issue of both with you, if you think it's hard. Now, if you're decent at doing damage and you're decent at mechanics, but you might have a challenge, but too hard? What is this? Is this the freaking Frost Dragon at the end of Stormblood? Was it the Frost Dragon, the Mist Dragon, whichever dungeon that was in the Burn? Why are we going back to that? That wasn't hard. It seems to me that a lot of the people who are complaining about stuff being just a slightly more difficult than, a striking dummy are the people who just want to come in, get their shit, and, be basically rewarded, for attending. That's not how this game works. That's not how Savage works. It's not how an EX Primal works. If you are trying to clear high-level content, be it the Savage raids, Extreme Primals, or this new 48-man content, the new Baldezian, BA Savage, whatever the hell they're calling it, from the Bosnian Southern Front, you're gonna need to be able to do mechanics and damage. It's just what it is. They can't simplify this game anymore just so you can, clear it. The tools are out there for improvement. ACT exists. You can download Advanced Combat Tracker very easily and get the FFXIV plugin and see your damage if you're on PC. If you're on PlayStation, you're kind of fucked, but you can find, I guarantee you, if you have a buddy who plays this game on PC, there's a good chance they'll have ACT. And you can and even if they don't, just go to any number of streamers that stream with ACT on their stream and just say in their chat, hey, can somebody parse my opener real quick? I'm on PlayStation and I could use some help. And you'll probably find like 3 or 4 volunteers on your server. Not your data center, your server, who will have ACT. And they'll do it for you. Be like, sure, let me just join your party, hit the damn thing once, and just watch your damn damage. And they'll do it to help out. Pardon me while I drink my water. So that's tool number 1. ACT, despite Square Enix never talking about it or never acknowledging the fact that it exists, that's one tool. The other tool out there, well, let's say I don't want to use ACT because it's not allowed by Square Enix. Square Enix doesn't allow it. Fine, fair enough. You don't want to use it. Cool. But you got the striking dummies, the Stone Sky Sea, or whatever they're called these days, that you just go in, you do, you go and you hit it for like 3 minutes and it dies. Usually, sometimes it won't. That's usually your fault. That's not the crit direct hit rates or, any other modifier rates. You can't make the gear argument. I mean, you can make the gear argument. I mean, if the eye level requirement is 480 and you're stuck at 450 or something, you're probably screwing yourself a little bit there. But you could be under the eye level. I remember hearing about Uwu. Guy had some crafted gear on, some melds, barely been raiding for a bit. They cleared Uwu on Dragoon. They just put in the effort. So put in some effort. And if you don't know where to start looking, Balance Discord, as much as I can rant about them, it's a good place to start. They have some good information out there. Just, do a little bit of thinking for yourself. Don't just read it and say this is the only way to do it. Do some thinking for yourself and actually understand why you are doing what the Balance Discord is telling you to do, or else you're just going to get nothing done. Up next we have the I swear to God, if these cats don't stop making noise, I'm gonna smack them. So Balance Discord, like I said, good place to start. ACT is a good place to start. The dang Stone Sky and Sea is a good place to start. Here's another one. Ask your friends. Chances are they'll tell you, hey, you are not doing this right. Get better at what you need to do. Understand your job. If you're playing Dragoon, understand your opener. And if you're like, 50, 60, 70, I don't even need to know it. You don't, but come on, just do a little bit more damage. I shouldn't stand in an expert roulette for 20 minutes because people can't do damage. You got healers who won't do damage. Whatever, you're a healer. I'm not gonna really. But the thing is, expert roulettes on average take 15 minutes. If you are taking longer than that, and that's the low end. That is the very low end. Someone in that expert dungeon is doing something wrong. And the thing is, I can tell when I know my damage is, not perfectly great, but I know I'm doing decent damage because I use ACT. I see my numbers and I see other people's numbers. I live on FF logs essentially. I know how long these bosses take to die. I can go into an expert dungeon right now, not turn on ACT, and if the damage is bad, I'll be able to tell just because I can tell just because of how fast the trash mobs are dying. And I can tell right then and there that this is going to be a long dungeon. If the trash mobs take too long, you are doing things wrong. Figure it out. You're a DPS. You should be AoEing. You're a tank. You should be AoEing. Healers, try the holy. Let me put it this way, healer. If you're a white mage, especially, use fucking holy. It stun locks them. Best way to reduce damage and heal it is to not have that damage go out in the first damn place. So I gotta ask, why is this concept that we as a player base don't need to put in the effort to kill, to get the kills we want? We want Shiva EX, Unreal killed, right? So when you go into Shiva Unreal and your eye level synced down to 430, that's a generous eye level. You can if you want, you can even pick up some 430 gear, meld it so you don't lose melds. But, you don't have to. I went in there. I didn't change my gear. I lost my direct hit melds, and we killed it just fine. We barely ever saw in Rage, and, unless like 2 or 3 people died. And even then, the boss was dying so fast consistently, we really didn't care in those 2 kills. And it's not hard. You just have to put in the effort. So, why are you not putting in the effort? I want to know. And if you think you are, is it just you don't know? The resources are out there for you to figure out what you need to do. You just got to Google it. Google FFXIV Dragoon Guide. If you're playing Dragoon, or Summoner, whatever job you're playing, just Google the guide for it. You will find the information. You don't have to play perfect. You don't need to play perfect to clear content, but you need to play somewhat decently. And all you really need is to be able to get the fundamentals. If you can get the fundamentals down, you will be able to clear Shiva Unreal because it's not a hard fight. And it's fairly easy to carry somebody. So chances are, if you're saying it's too hard, you are the problem, and the other 7 people are also the problem. You are all equally bad at this game. I'm not going to tell you to uninstall and unstub. I'm going to tell you, just look up the information that is available. The Balance Discord is available. Our FFXIV is available to point you in a direction. There is plenty of spaces that you can go to get information. Go to any major Twitch streamer for FF14 and they will be able to give you this information, or someone in that chat, if the streamer doesn't know, guaranteed can get you the information or knows where to find the information. It isn't hard. Take the time, put some effort in, and you'll be able to get Shiva Unreal kills. You'll be able to get Savage kills. But you have to start with the effort. The effort starts on you. The onus isn't on the group. The onus is on you to get better. The group, and you join a PF and you get kicked from it because you're dying or you're not doing damage, whose fault is that? That's not the group's fault. That's you. So don't look at the group and don't look at Square Enix. Yoshida-san didn't make you suck at the game. Yoshida-san did not design, the fight to be unreasonable. It designed, you are creating the issue yourself by not caring enough to do the mechanics correctly or not caring enough to do the damage. Usually, the mechanics, I will say, okay, maybe you don't know, maybe you didn't pay attention, yada yada. I'm a lot more forgiving on people messing up mechanics than I am, low damage, because that's just you not putting in effort. And all you have to do realistically is put in some effort. Learn your job. Learn what you need to do damage. It's not hard. As I've said, the places you can find these resources are nearly endless. You have a plethora of well-known streamers. If you just Google FF14 guide, you'll probably go across Mr. Happy. You can go to his channel, and he's a very relaxed person. He'll tell you the information or where to find it. Someone in his chat will tell you the information or where to find it if he doesn't know, or if he misses it. Which hey, he's got a fair amount of people in the stream, so he misses it. Xenosis Vex, same thing. Spofi, Puka Jutsu. God, I could keep listing more and more streamers. Violent Destruction, Arthur's. There's Ethis Asher, Frosty Mogborn. There's so many streamers you could go to that'll be able to point you in the right direction to get better and get your clears. But you got to put the effort for you. They're not going to come in and hand it to you themselves. They're going to join the party, realize you suck, and probably leave and be like, this is a waste of my time. I'm out of this party. I'm going to go find a party that's going to put in some effort. And the funny thing is, most of the people who are doing these weekly reclears and stuff, they're not interested in getting like a top parse or something and that stuff. They're interested in just going in, getting their kill, or, helping the party. But you got to help yourself. You got to put in the effort. You got to understand that, hey, the onus on damage starts on me. Because if you're not doing the damage you need to be doing, you're not doing decent DPS, you're not doing the mechanics, then why should you get the kill? Why should you get the clear? It's really simple. If you're not putting in the effort to get a job, why should you get a job? If you're not putting in the effort to get, promoted, why should you get promoted at work? It's the same concepts in real life in this game in the harder content. It's like, hey, I don't play Dark Souls because it's too hard. Okay, well, if you actually spent the time to get good at Dark Souls, you'd get better at it. This guy right here doesn't play Dark Souls, but the concept still applies. Hey, Dark Souls is too hard. You either take the time and get better, or you don't do the content, right? And Shiva Unreal, Eden Savage, Alexander Savage, all the Savages, Ultimate, all the hard content, the extreme primals, they're there for you to challenge yourself to see how good you are at the game. If you're not good at the game, you're not going to kill. If you are good, you're going to kill. If you're really good at the game, you're going to kill fast. It's not a hard concept. The hard mode content exists for the people to do who want to do it. It's like a normal mode, hard mode in any other video game. But in this game, there's essentially, I guess, 3 levels of difficulty. You got your easy mode, which is, your normal modes, as they like to call them. They're not, I'd say they're about easy mode, right? I'd say your normal level difficulty would probably be your primals, EX primals specifically. Shiva Unreal can be thrown in there. It's a normal level difficulty fight in the grand scheme of things. Your hard mode is your Savage, and your freaking very hard mode is your Ultimates. Is what it is. If you want to beat the normal difficulty and you suck at the easy mode, you're going to have a hard time. It's not impossible, but you're going to have a very hard time doing it, and I'm going to laugh as you fail and then complain and say, dude, it's not a hard game. Get better at the game. Then you got, people who are still not good at easy mode, still not good at normal mode, going into hard mode and saying, why can't I beat this? Why can't the group beat this? Why can't y'all suck? And they're blaming literally everyone but the group themselves, because they are not the problem. And then when it turns out they are the problem, they just deny it. You live in denial. So why? I want to know why. Reach out to me. Twitch.tv/T_money33. Find me on Twitter in below there. Let me know. Hit me with it. Post your angry shit on Reddit. If you are one of those people who are finding Savage too hard, Shiva Unreal too hard, I still can't wrap my head around that. How is it too hard? Let us know. Yoshida, what makes it too hard? People who think it's hard, let me know why. Ridiculous. It is ridiculous that you think Shiva Unreal is too hard. Absolutely ridiculous. Get better at the game. Is all you have to do. Tons of resources available, but you need to do it. You need to put in the effort. You think I'm sitting here being like, ooh, I've gotten 95s, I'm usually not orange up. purple on FF logs. You think I was good at this game when I first started? I was living in Gray Town. Green if I was lucky. I was horrible at this game. Horrible. I would have never cleared Savage if I didn't start, first of all, start raiding. I would never have even cleared EX Primals, to be honest, if I didn't start raiding. Because I started raiding and I was watching, some guides on, Alexander, and that led me to discover Twitch, actually. I discovered Mr. Happy's channel. Then I switched from, White Mage to Warrior, and I was introduced to Xenosis Vex's channel, and I'm like, okay, cool. Then I'm like, oh, he's live on Twitch too. That's awesome. So I go to watch him, and I'm starting to learn. And mind you, the learning curve is not steep. But in terms of the flogs now, the flogs curve is steep, but the learning curve is not. You will do decent enough damage to kill if you just start learning. And it's not hard. You just have to want to do it. God, Shiva's 2. Shiva Unreal is 2. Our next thing you're going to tell me is Altroti 01S was too hard. Oh my god, I can't see the AoEs. I can fall off. I am struggling just a little bit. Oh, ooh, ooh. Trust me, if you found 01S hard, or Shiva Unreal hard, 05S hard, you need to do yourself a favor in this game. Stay out of Savage. Stay out, because you're setting yourself up for failure at that point. Not because the elitists don't want you. We personally don't give a fuck, but we will not tolerate low damage, poor mechanics, poor handling of mechanics, and constant failure. We will kick you from parties, not because we want you specifically to fail, but because we want to succeed. You have to remember, you're in a party with 7 other people. 7 other people. There are 7 other people in this online game that you are partying with. These are not NPCs. These are 7 live humans, flesh and blood, that you are working with to clear this content. You owe it to them. Do not be the best, but to be good. Just decent. Don't be bad. It's not hard. I feel like my voice is already going. I've only been live for about 44 minutes now. I guarantee you I've been talking for about 30 of them, and my voice is just gone. Ugh. Shiva Unrealist. I still can't believe that. If you are struggling in this game to beat content, don't blame other people. Don't blame the content. The content is what it is. And analyze yourself. Okay, I need to do this, this, and this to get better. I am doing this damage, And if you don't have the tools, Google them. They're easy to get. Ugh. All right, we're starting to loop back around. I think that's going to do it for episode 1, the pilot of this new podcast. Wow, I'm pretty happy with it. I think, honestly, it went very well. But we're going to wrap it up, folks, and we're going to shut on down for the day. Got things what needs getting done. All right. Good episode, I think. I think I had a good episode, yeah. Alrighty. Thank you so much for joining me live on this first episode of TMoney Talks. If you missed out, you can catch me again next week, where TMoney Talks Gaming is having its first episode live, twitch.tv/T_money. Music provided by Purple Planet. Check them out at www.purpleplanet.com. This has been TMoney. Thank you so much for listening. Until next week, I'm out.